Hey everyone, welcome to Communication 313, Human Communication and Technology, the name that I always mess up, except for this introduction this time. I thought I'd give you just sort of a welcome to the class and then an introduction. I'll go through the syllabus and the D2L page just in case, for whatever reason, if this is your first online class, or maybe you're just unsure about some of the wordage or anything like that, maybe we can clarify. So let's go ahead and get started and let the technology sort of work for itself. There we go. So on the left-hand side here, you see the syllabus, and on the right-hand side, you see the D2L page. And as I'm going through the syllabus, I'll sort of point to some of the D2L components that you'll end up seeing. So the syllabus, I think, is relatively straightforward. These are the grading criteria, A, B, C, D, F. Hopefully, the last 2.5, 3 of those we don't get into. But it's worth pointing out that the class is essentially comprised of 3 major components, right? The first one being participation. You have to participate in the discussion boards online on D2L, and we can go ahead and click the discussion boards here. And I'll reiterate this as I continue down the syllabus. We have 3 papers, a case study paper, an annotated bibliography, and the second one, the annotated bibliography, actually pulls into the third one, which is the application development paper. Okay, so a lot of the research, hopefully, that you do with the annotated bib will then go into framing and making an argument for your application development. And then there's also a digital pitch component of this. Not quite like the way I'm presenting it, but in a similar way. And then finally, we have quizzes. In previous iterations of this class, we had 3 exams that were usually around about the 4th week, midterm, and then finals. We've opted for quizzes this time, hopefully based on some of the feedback that the students gave us. Hopefully you enjoy that component of it. And again, as we're going through this, you can see that there are certain expectations in terms of time investment. The university requires that we stipulate these, and these are all averages. I know that there have been students who have put less hours in this class and did well, and then we have the other end of it, students who put a lot of time in this class who either did well or did poorly. I would say these are good estimates, depending on how you work. It really helps to dictate how successful, or unfortunately not, you might be with this class. And we have To go into this, we have 2 textbooks, required textbooks. One of them is Westerman, Bowman, and Lachlan, and the second one is Schmidt and Cohen. Schmidt and Cohen I refer to as the Google guys. I'm sure I'll inadvertently say that throughout the course of the semester. But we also have, going to the D2L page, we have article readings as well, and I'll get towards the end, but just to show you, if you go to the content section, you click course article readings, you can actually go ahead and download all of these right now. You just click this little drop down arrow, click download, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so I would recommend, and all of these numbers correspond on the course calendar as well, I would recommend downloading all of these just to have them accessible for you. Okay. Typical comments about late work is not accepted. Of course, there are circumstances in which maybe you become ill or something awful happens with your family or whatever it is that's going on. Let me know ahead of time and we'll be able to sort through that, figure it out. We also have a syllabus quiz, which hopefully this gives you a little bit of an advantage on. You have unlimited times to take the syllabus before the deadline, being this Sunday the 6th at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is the consistent cutoff date for a lot of our timelines throughout the class. And so as you're working through this, it'll ask you questions about maybe participation, how many quizzes we have, what the expectations are, how you're graded and evaluated. It should be self-explanatory, but we've had people in the past struggle a little bit. This is just to orient you to using D2L, to reading the syllabus, and make sure that our expectations that we've set match with what you anticipate for the course. So participation, since this is an online class, we won't actually have face-to-face meetings, so instead we'll have participation. We expect really 2 components of this participation. The first one is an original post that you will make by Wednesday evenings of each week, with the exception of a couple of weeks where we have different assignments due. We give you a break on discussion there. But they'll be due Wednesday evening, 9 p.m., and what will happen is there'll be 15 multiple choice questions. And the multiple choice questions at most situations will be based off of the 3 chapters worth of readings, okay? Now the chapters worth of readings come in different ways. They'll either come as a course article reading, or they will correspond to one of the chapters, if not 2 of the chapters from the Westerman or the Schmidt textbooks, okay? But what we'll do is we'll ask you a number of different questions, but these are sort of the general guiding principles as to what are the things that I should be thinking about as I'm rearing up, as I'm thinking about participation. What are the questions that I should be asking myself? And we use that as a platform to help spawn discussion. Each of these original posts that happen each week, you post it yourself, contains about 250 words. Okay, and again, just like I posted here, this right here, the section is 240 words. So to give you a little bit of an expectation as to how long posts might be for you. And moving past that, after you've made your original post by Wednesday, by Sunday, you're expected to respond to at least 2 different classmates at 9 p.m. on Sunday in approximately 200 words. So a little bit less than this, okay? And as you're going through these posts, you might start off a little bit slow. Maybe you're not accustomed to referring to research articles or these different textbooks. As you're going through this process, hopefully you'll figure out, okay, last time I talked about the theoretical components of it, that was a little bit boring. Maybe I could talk about the concepts. Maybe I could talk about some of the limitations. And all of those are valid opportunities for you to start discussion and continue it. I really like this idea. These authors frame this theory in a really great way. And you're sitting there reading it and you're going, see, as I was reading that, I actually had a lot of trouble with it. Try not to overcomplicate discussions. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't take it seriously and try very hard on it, because you should. But instead, think about discussions as you being able to express your opinion. Now, not everyone will have the same opinion. And if they did, their discussions would be terribly boring. I think X, Y, and Z. Agreed. Me too, right? That'd be awful. So instead, express yourself in a way that is, of course, citing the original sources, being the text and also the article readings, but also be genuine. Be able to express how you feel this article framed a specific theory or concept well, or maybe not so well. And again, the evaluation of it essentially comes down to the quality and are you meeting their criteria. So for the Wednesday night original post, close at 9 p.m. Sunday night, your responses close at 9 p.m. Okay, consistency, 9 p.m. And as you're going through this, what I hope for you to understand is some people have different schedules. I understand that a lot of you are full-time students or part-time students, maybe full-time or part-time workers, families, friends, significant others, whatever it might be. Okay, I get that. So we have a little bit of flexibility. Try not to wait until Wednesday night at 8:50 to get your post done, because we'll start to tell quality. But again, as you're going through this, make sure that they're meaningful, they're thoughtful. You're not just simply regurgitating information that other people are posting. Make it unique, make it meaningful. Interestingly enough, going on to this next session of quizzes, and we can click here on D2L as well. We have the syllabus quiz listed here, and then as you go out through the semester, you'll see quiz for week 1, quiz for week 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. The quizzes are, just like the syllabus quiz, open note, multiple choice, 15 items. They're not cumulative, and they're available starting Thursday mornings until Sunday nights at 9 p.m. So Thursday, 7 a.m. they open, they close Sunday at 9 p.m. Okay? They'll cover the content that we're talking about. So think about it this way. If your original posts are due Wednesday by 9 p.m., I'm anticipating that you have read both the textbooks, whatever chapters were required, and the course articles. Okay, so you are very well adept and knowledgeable on whatever it is that we're talking about. Okay. Thursday, the very next morning, the quizzes are open based on the content that you just posted and the content that you've been reading. Now, some people will be antsy, 7 a.m. Thursday, click the quiz, let's get going. Other people, maybe not. Maybe other people need to hear what other people are saying within the discussion post. Oh, you know what? Jeff brought up a good point that I didn't think about. I now understand this concept more. So make sure whatever fits well with how you learn, you would take that approach. And as we're talking about this and we're going forward, just a quick note, collaboration. Some previous students have taken this with their roommates or their friends or significant others. And unfortunately, we have had issues, and we hope that we do not have issues moving forward with some of these ideas of collaboration. There's no collaborating. It's open note. I suggest taking notes as you're reading through all of this, and you'll be good to go. I won't go into too much detail about the 3 papers. Just know that they exist. If you click Dropbox, you can see them here. Case study paper, annotated bibliography, and application development. Case study and then annotated bib are 50 points each, and the application development is 70 points. 50 of those points come from the paper itself, and then 20 of the points come from the digital pitch, which is actually similar to what I'm doing right now, talking about a concept, being able to articulate it in a way and make sense of it. But again, as we get closer to those assignments, I'll actually take another video aside and explain them, give you examples. And as a matter of fact, if you click the content section on D2L, what you'll see under administrative documents, we have 3 examples here for each paper, 1 for each. So we have an example of the case study, the annotated bib, application development, so on and so forth. So if you're frustrated, if you're confused, even after watching my video, you've emailed me, and maybe I've confused you even more, which I hope isn't the case, you can come here, you can use this as a guideline. Now, a lot of these students have really meaningful and valuable papers. There are many approaches to the case study, or the annotated bib, or the app development. As long as you're hitting on these criteria that we've established and we have written down in the syllabus, you should be fine. If you want to pitch the idea to me, even if it's with a case study, you can do that, right? So as we're going through the semester, you're confused, you think you have an idea, let me know. University departmental policies, don't have to spend too much time on this. If you have disabilities, you can come speak to me about that. If you have complaints, if you have grade appeals, all of these things have to be done within the first week that you have it done in writing. And I haven't had grade appeals in the past. Anytime that there's been confusion or misunderstanding with these, I've been able to talk through it, and we'll figure it out, unfortunately, if that is the case. And we finally get to course calendar, subject to change, although I don't think it will. Spend a lot of time constructing it. And I hopefully have separated it in a way, it makes sense to me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it makes sense to everyone else. But I've separated it in a way that helps to break down, okay, what week is it? What are the dates? This corresponds to the Sunday, the last date there is a Sunday. What topic are we covering? And then here we have book 1, the Westerman book, book 2, the Schmidt book, and 3 are articles. So as you're going through this, again, what you'll be able to see is, okay, week 2, we start the overview of communication technologies. That's what CTs are. So I'll need to read chapters 1 and 2 of this book, okay? But as I see, as I'm going through this, I also see that I have to read article 1, which is here, which you can download on D2L. Now we go into week 3, interpersonal relationships, personal favorite. We have to read chapters 7 and 8 of the Westerman book. And then we have to start chapter 1 of the Schmidt and Cohen book, okay? And then we also see article 2, McEwen, perfect. We got it all figured out, right? Pretty straightforward. One thing I will note, this is a 300 level class, so there will be a fair amount of reading, okay? I anticipate you taking this class and building off of the ideas that maybe you've gotten in comm theory or were able to develop as time has gone on. I think this is the right amount of reading, okay? As we're going through this, you'll notice with, in particular, the Schmidt and Cohen book, look on the syllabus. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 4, so on and so forth. This is the only thing that'll send me 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, so I messed up the order a little bit, but they coalesce together, I promise. You'll notice that, let's say Chapter 2, page 32, okay, to 47 is not the end of Chapter 2. Instead, it's about half of it. So just be very conscious as you're going through and reading these articles and the books that as you're going through it, you're actually reading the limitations or the end. You can read all the way through, but a lot of these chapters I usually use about half of them because they pertain to whatever the topic is that we're covering. So again, as you're going through this, if you get confused or you need help or you just really, really like this discussion topic, come let me know and we'll figure it out. Go back to the full version, and here we are. So, welcome to the class. I'm glad that you're here. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can let me know. For the most part, I think that a lot of you will walk out of this class and be very thankful for it. We have a lot of students who we've written letters of recommendation for or help them even get in contact with people to get them careers that feature topics like we talked about. Impression management, virtual communities, problematic computer-mediated communication. So as you're going through the class, you say, hey, this topic's of interest to me, or hey, I don't like this topic. Sometimes the process of elimination helps you get to that point quicker, okay? But again, I've said it probably too many times at this point. Last reiteration of it, if you need anything, if you have questions or comments or concerns, you have no idea what this class is about, you've never been as confused as you are right now, come let me know. We'll figure it out. Until then, hopefully see you online.